Hey guys, Tyler here. In previous videos, I've attempted to chart the route of the USS Enterprise in Star Trek the Original Series, Star Trek the Animated Series, and Star Trek the Next Generation. While many systems visited by the likes of Kirk and Picard have been mapped in canon, as well as non-canon reference materials, I've had to do a lot of guesswork. But when it comes to the route of the USS Voyager through the Delta Quadrant, luckily, it's a lot more straightforward. In many ways, literally. Indeed, practically the entire path of the ship during Star Trek Voyager is mapped in Jeffrey Mandel's Star Trek star charts. For this reason, I was actually hesitant at first to even make a video about it, especially since there's no point in trying to correlate systems visited by Voyager with real Milky Way stars, something I try to do in the other mapping videos. We have identified numerous star clusters, pulsars, nebula, and other phenomena in what would be called the Delta Quadrant, but individual stars are harder to resolve. That said, given Janeway's trek is much more straightforward, I still thought it would be nice to showcase various anomalies Voyager encountered, as well as her brushes with different Delta Quadrant powers. Let's get started. At some point, all of us struggle with maximizing our potential. I know firsthand how easy it is to feel stuck and struggle to find work in today's job market. That's why you should check out today's sponsor, Strawberry.me. Strawberry.me believes career success isn't luck, it's strategy. They connect people with certified professional coaches who can help them overcome obstacles, land better opportunities, and ultimately build fulfilling careers. Strawberry.me's experienced coaches help clients gain clarity on their next move, such as promotion or career change, develop a results-driven strategy to work smarter not harder, and stay accountable since success happens when you take action. Unlike therapy or consulting, career coaching is future-focused, providing guidance to yield measurable results and accelerate success. With a commitment to career growth, Strawberry.me offers affordable access to high-quality personal coaching, because coaching should be for everyone, not just executives. Coaches are rigorously evaluated for quality using both client feedback and peer assessments to ensure a high standard. It's easy and convenient to book a virtual coaching session with Strawberry.me. If you're like me, then the coach that you match with will make the session feel personalized, welcoming, and effective. The most important project you'll ever work on is you. Visit strawberry.me/OrangeRiver or scan the QR code to start coaching with a $50 credit. Now, back to the video. Another note, in my mapping videos, I've treated Stardates differently on a case-by-case basis. Because many TOS episodes were aired out of order, I went with the production order, but I went for air date order in TNG, even though that doesn't correspond one-to-one with Stardate order either. Gene Roddenberry said Stardates can go up or down depending on the ship's position in the galaxy, but Star Charts treats Voyager's Stardate order as purely chronological, so I'm mapping the show's systems accordingly. Also, not every episode has a determined location, often taking place in interstellar space, but I'll try to be as thorough as possible. After departing from the port of Deep Space Nine for the Badlands in an effort to intercept the Maquis ship Valjean, Voyager is transported 70,000 light-years by the Caretaker's array to Ocampa, where the crew also makes first contact with the Kazon. After encountering a Type 4 quantum singularity and thwarting an accident that causes the extinction of the inhabitants of Markov, Voyager makes first contact with the Vidians near a rogue planetoid. The ship encounters a nucleogenic cloud being before exonerating Tom Paris in a murder case involving the Numiri and the Benia. Element 247 is discovered on a Class D planet before witnessing spatial trajector technology on Sikaris. Another meeting with the Vidians occurs in the Avery system in Faces, before the crew discovers a colony of abducted humans in the Briori system. In 2372, Chakotay becomes involved with a young Kazon's rite of passage on Terok before Paris and Neelix find a reptilian breeding ground on so-called Planet Hell. On unknown stardates, the crew experiences disturbing hallucinations while passing near Botha space, and Chakotay meets aliens called the Sky Spirits, who interbred with humans 45,000 years ago. Voyager finds more Ocampa under the care of a Nasine called Suspiria before belonging B'Elanna Torres is recruited by the Prelor to build androids. Voyager attends a conference of Kazon sects on Sobris before intercepting a lost Cardassian missile en route to Rakosa. They have another run-in with Seska and the Kazon near Hemikek, then with the Vidians at Fina Prime. The crew rescues aliens stuck in a bizarre computer program at a coal settlement after Tuvok is trapped on a moon in the Drea system. And Janeway and Chakotay are isolated on an M-class planet called New Earth while infected with a terminal illness while Voyager searches for a cure. In 2373, after the Voyager crew escapes being stranded on Henan 4 by the Kazon, they take shore leave on the homeworld of the Nachani. They encounter a stranded Ferengi vessel in the Takar region before Tuvok suffers a mental breakdown while the ship observes a Class 17 nebula. They pass through Acriterian space, which includes Hiva 7, then head to Inara after picking up colonists from the FEMA system. They pass adjacent to space occupied by the Swarm, of which Mizlan is nearby, and encounter a macrovirus after an away mission on the Tak-Tak homeworld. The Doctor goes on an early away mission with his mobile emitter on the planet Arrakis, named after the planet from Frank Herbert's Dune novels, before Voyager visits a supply depot on the edge of the Nekrit Expanse. Lieutenant Vorik undergoes Pon Farr when Voyager visits Sakari, and Chakotay temporarily becomes part of a small collective on a planet in the Expanse. Voyager defends a Nezu colony before visiting the outpost of the Mikal Travelers. Harry Kim is kidnapped by inhabitants of Teresia, and Voyager discovers an astral eddy near the location of the Vostigai space station. And members of the Nerian race attempt to replace the crew one by one before encountering Species 0472 and rescuing 7 of 9 from the Borg. In 2374, after Chakotay is trapped in the midst of a war between the Kraden and Vori, the Doctor meets another sentient hologram before the ship visits Erythia. The alternate timeline events of Year of Hell and First Contact with the Krenim succeed the ship's approach of the Garanor homeworld, and Seven discovers the fate of her parent ship, the Raven, when passing by the space of the Bomar Sovereignty. Aliens perform experiments on the crew without their knowledge as they observe a binary pulsar, and B'Elanna is imprisoned by the Mari before Seven saves Neelix's life after the crew observes a Class 1 nebula. The crew experiences nightmares on a strange planet before making first contact with the Hirogen and bargaining with the Entharans. Tom's genome is stolen while the ship visits the Kendron system. Voyager visits Micah, helping track down a fugitive, and the Doctor becomes involved in the Kyrian-Vascan civil war before the crew is duplicated by the Silver Blood on a Class Y planet. They pass through a Mutara-class nebula before visiting a trading colony, preceding their discovery of quantum slipstream technology. First contact with the Malon occurs in 2375, after which Voyager takes advantage of a vortex to travel 2,500 light-years. Seven's nanoprobes and the Doctor's mobile emitter accidentally create a new Borg drone after the ship visits a proto-nebula, and the crew has another encounter with Species 8472 near Terrasphere 8. A slipstream test takes the ship another 10,000 light-years before the ship encounters the Waters, inhabited by the Monians, and a non-humanoid alien attaches itself to B'Elanna after the ship visits Lavati. The crew's passage through Devore space follows, including a visit to the Tehara system, and the ship hits a subspace sandbar and makes first contact with photonic life forms. Some other encounters with cosmic phenomena precede their visit to the Natori system, and a Borg transwarp conduit takes them 20,000 light-years towards a group of aliens called the Think Tank. A Kadi representative boards the ship before the crew observes a Class Y cluster, and Voyager finds the lost USS Equinox. The Equinox is lost for good in 2376, before Voyager docks at the Marconian outpost. First contact with the Hierarchy occurs near a Class T nebula, and the crew discovers subspace corridors, used by the Turay and Vadoir, which propel them 200 light-years closer to home. An anomaly called a particle fountain is encountered after Voyager visits a junkyard. The crew meet the Baneth before discovering graviton catapult technology near a Class K nebula, and the graviton catapult launches them another 600 light-years. In between visits to Pindari and Norcadia, the Rock makes an appearance, and the ship investigates a particle density anomaly before meeting the Comarians. After visiting the planet Tarakis, Seven investigates Icheb's family heritage on his homeworld of Brunal, and a group of aliens impersonates the Voyager crew when they visit Selenia Prime in the Wyanti system before the ship investigates a Class J nebula. Finally, starting in 2377, investigating another Class J nebula near Antaria precedes the crew's visit to the starving population of Dynal, and the crew becomes involved in a Lokiram war before rescuing a Kraylor. More rescues occur near Nigea before the crew encounters the Wangari and Vogine, followed by the crew's trip through the void. The crew is kidnapped and forced to toil in industrial labor in the Quarus system, preceding their interception of the 21st century Earth probe Friendship 1 near Uxal, and a scientific conference on Lidos. The Doctor's talents are required again when dealing with the hierarchy, and they drop Neelix off before traveling through another transwarp hub to the Alpha Quadrant. Oh, and who could forget the ship's voyage from the Portello system to Earth, where it becomes a starship museum, in the Lower Decks episode Tuvix. With that, thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a thumbs up down below and don't forget to share it. That stuff really helps me out. If you haven't subscribed yet, be sure to do that as well so you won't miss future uploads, and click the bell icon to receive all notifications. If you want to support my work even further, you can become a patron at patreon.com/OrangeRiver, link in the description, or become a YouTube member by clicking the join button on my channel page. By becoming a patron or member, you also get access to awesome perks like behind-the-scenes photos and videos, patron and member-only polls, name in the credits, merch discounts, and more. Or you can drop a one-time super thanks or PayPal donation. All are appreciated. Links to my PayPal as well as my social media and merch store are in the description too. Also, just as a reminder, I do have a second channel, OrangeRiver Plus, where I've uploaded the VODs of lots of my gaming streams, with more on the way. And in addition to some other goofy one-offs and extra behind-the-scenes content, I've officially made it my second streaming platform, so be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any new content. And big thanks once again to Strawberry.me for sponsoring today's video. That's all I have for this week. Live long and prosper.
First Officer's Log, Stardate 81007.3. Endurance remains in orbit of the desert planet to which we have seemingly been summoned by Chief Abano.
I can only assume the entity you contacted has brought us here for a reason.
I still suspect the entity has hostile intentions.
Whatever is on this planet may be critical to the Federation's security.
I apologize if your journey here was startling, but I promise I can answer your questions. Lieutenant, what exactly did you see?
Do you like merchandise? If so, head on over to the new and improved OrangeRiver merch store. That's right, OrangeRiver is now officially on Spreadshop. I've got a bunch of awesome new designs, including All the Way Down,
All the Way,
Vape God, Tally, aka Best Girl,
it was totally worth it.
and what is perhaps my greatest design yet,
I love being married to my husband.
Plus, I've got some of my classic designs like OrangeRiver Arrowhead, N7, Metroid, Mycelial Network,
The mycelial network is like
Mycelial Network, and more. And there are even some new products like OrangeRiver hats. That's right, OrangeRiver hats now exist. Visit the link in the description to get discounts and other special deals on items from my store.